Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be working on a 2005 Dodge Ram today. As you guys can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be doing an oil pan gasket on it. It's leaking. This is actually one of my buddy's trucks, and he said that he had messed with the oil pan gasket before in the past to do something, but he just reused it, I believe. It is a little bit of a bear to get these oil pans out, but we're going to try and make easy work of it today and show you guys what we're going to do. So I'm going to try to do it without dropping the diff completely out. Also got a new drain plug on the way because that one is pretty boogered up. So new gasket, new drain plug on the way. What we're going to try to do is leave the CV axles hooked up. Just drop this cross member right here that goes across out, and then just drop the differential down. But we're not going to completely remove it. We're going to support it with a transmission jack and just try to drop it down. And we also have a couple other random brackets like this one right here needs to come off to be able to access some of the bolts in the back. So yeah, the first thing we're going to do, guys, is drain the oil, and then we will remove this cross member, and then we're going to, like I said, try to get the differential drop down so we can get, or pull this bracket off, drop the diff, get the oil pan out of here, and then get it replaced with a new gasket and new drain plug, fill it back up with oil, clean all this stuff, and verify that our leak was taken care of. So nothing crazy really going on today, guys. Just kind of want to show you the process of doing this. This should be applicable for most third gen style four-wheel drives with a 5.7 liter Hemi engine in it. This is obviously 1500, just a 5-lug truck, so that is why the diff is set up like that. Otherwise it would be a straight axle. So yeah, guys, let's get started. I'm going to start with draining the oil, and then we will start removing that cross member. I'm interrupting the video today because I want to talk about today's sponsor, and that is Topdon's new jump pack. I'll show you guys the model here in a second, but here you can see I got to use my skid steer for a small job in the morning, moving some wood around, and battery is cooked. So that being said, I don't think this thing even charges, to be honest with you. I don't think it needs electrical power for anything, and I think it's just ran itself dead, starting it over and over again. This is the new Topdon JS 3000. We're going to do a real review on it, unbox it right now, and see if it will start my skid steer. It's got a 4-cylinder Cummins in it. Let's see what's inside here. Got 75% right out of the box. I am going to try and jump start the skid steer with this thing. All right, guys, it took the following tools to get to the battery on this, and I found it, but I had to cut some bolts to get it off because they were so rusted. Looks like a total piece of junk. So let's see if we can get this thing started up. Terminals, and positive, and this battery looks really bad. I need to get a new one, but let's see if the Topdon JS 3000 will fire it up. All right, guys, here we go. It's hooked up. I think it's turned on. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna get out of the way in case it moves a little bit. I'm actually just gonna step over here. Woo! Fired right up. All right, guys, and I am going to be teaming up with Topdon and giving you guys this here jump pack. This is the JS 3000. You guys just saw me use it, and I'm actually going to give you guys one, and it's going to be free to get entered if you want to possibly win this thing. There's going to be 2 things, well, 3 things totally that you have to do. So the first thing I want you guys to do is be subscribed to the channel, take a screenshot of it, show me that you're subscribed. I want you to follow me on Instagram. So Dirty Diamond Diesel is the Instagram name. Make sure you are followed on there. And then third, I want you to send me a DM on Instagram saying, basically showing me that you are subscribed to the channel and you follow me. So send me those 2 screenshots showing both of those 2 required. A week after this video is posted, I don't know exactly when this video is gonna be posted, but a week after it's posted, I'm going to do a drawing. And then once I draw and choose a winner, I will throw it in the next video to show who won it and give them a shout out. So that is all you have to do. Subscribe to the channel, follow on Instagram, DM me proof of both. That's all you got to do, guys. Get entered to win this Topdon JS 3000. All right, guys, got started by changing the engine, or got started by draining the engine oil, 13 millimeter on the drain plug. Get that guy drained out. Oil looks pretty good. Looks like he's changed it pretty recently. It's not super brown. Still got some gold color in it, so start with that. Alright, guys, now you gotta take this plate out right here. Kind of supports the engine and the trans together. Alright, guys, with a little bit of fighting, we got the diff where it's just kind of hanging here, supported by the little trans jack I got. It's kind of holding it up. and the CV axles are still hooked up. This thing couldn't really fall out. I did take the drive shaft out just to make things a little bit easier on me, because I was fighting that drive shaft quite a bit whenever I was trying to get to the bolts, wiggle stuff around. So I just went ahead and pulled the front drive shaft, took 2 seconds. Now we can get to all of the transmission pan bolts and drop this pan. Looks like they are 10s. All right guys, pan is loose. I'm gonna get it broke loose all the way around out the front, see if we can wiggle this thing out of here. All right, round 2, if you guys can see this at all. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Trans line's out of the way. And the diff needs to come down just a wee bit more. Get out of the way, differential. Oh yeah, straight out. There we go. I'll let you guys see what it looks like up here. Some stuff in the pickup. But that is the gasket right there. So it looks like we got to drop the pickup tube, and then we can get the gasket off. I don't know if anything's holding that on there or not. Huh. Surely there's a bolt somewhere holding that gasket on, but we'll figure that out if there is anything holding it on, if it's not just glued up there. All right guys, real quick, before we put the new oil, or before we put the oil pan back on, I want to show you guys the new gasket. I put silicone on the bottom side of it, or on the top side of it, stuck a couple of the oil pan bolt holes in to kind of set it up, and then I reinstalled the pickup tube with a new O-ring, and now we are going to pull the bolts out that I used to hold this gasket up here. I think it should be stuck to the block now, and stick the oil pan back in. All right guys, new oil pan is installed and bolts are torqued. Oil drain plug is installed and torqued, and yeah, so that's pretty much it on getting it changed. And now we will basically put the differential back in, put the bracket here back in. We're gonna change the oil filter while we're down here real quick, see where it's at right there. And we'll be ready to fill this thing up with oil and start checking to see if we fixed our leak, and then we'll probably run it to the car wash and try to spray some of this stuff off. All right guys, this girl is all buttoned up. New oil filter installed, new oil pan gasket, new oil filter, new drain plug. I don't want to go crazy brake cleaning. As you guys can see, there's a lot of residual oil. I'm gonna run this thing to the car wash, hopefully tonight or first thing in the morning, because this truck is really clean, and I don't want to brake clean all over all this painted frame and stuff and take a chance of, you know, tearing that up. So it may sound kind of silly, but you know, brake clean, take paint off. I don't want to make it rust anywhere because it is such a clean truck. Well, I really wish that this was my truck, because I would totally jam either a 5.9 or a 6.7 common rail Cummins down in this thing with a built 48. Oh my god, it'd be so fun. But I gotta grab my sunglasses real quick, and we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna run into town. Just an excuse to take this thing for a test drive and verify that our oil leak is fixed. This thing is the Daytona trim package. So it has like the little accents right here painted. The interior is pretty normal, I think, minus that. And then it obviously says it on the side of the bed, but this thing is mint, only 129,000 miles on it. Super clean truck, ice cold air conditioning. Man, I'd really like to have this thing. And not to mention, guys, the 1500 just drives so nice. They drive like a sports car compared to most pickup trucks. The torsion bars in the front, and not having straight axle, it's just really smooth driving truck. This one, like I said, this is obviously the 5.7. It's got pretty good power, you know, it gets up and goes. It's also very light. I think I'll actually hit the scale on the way back here. We'll see what it weighs. Guys, I gotta know what this thing weighs. It's got 3/4 tank of fuel, and myself, which is about 215, 220 right now. Yeah, I know I'm fat. Anyways, let's see, we are at 5420. 5420 if it'll load. Yeah, 5,420 pounds. So this truck, without me in it's about
5,200 pounds. Realistically, if you were to come and swap it, you would probably be, I don't know, I'm such an idiot. For some reason I was thinking in my head that this was kind of heavy, but I forgot. My Shorty was a 2-wheel drive. This is 4-wheel drive, so there's a little bit more weight in the front. But realistically, with the Cummins in it, you'd probably be a little under 6,000 pounds by the time you mount a turbo and everything. And yeah, you'd be right in the 5,500, 6,000 range, depending on what you did with a lot of things. But this would be a really, really good platform to build a truck with. And you know, if you played your cards right, you could make a very lightweight and still have all the interior. Obviously, you don't want to mess with anything, you know, truck this nice, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. You could be efficient about what you're bolting on here, and this would be a good truck to turn into one. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up the end of this video. I'm just getting started this morning on pulling this truck back into the garage. Keep moving in and out, in and out, in and out, just because stuff keeps coming up. But anyways, I'm gonna move back into the garage, and I think we have all of our parts except for the cylinder head, but it's done. I just gotta go pick it up. So I'm gonna start a separate video right now. If you guys would like, be sure to subscribe, because probably sometime next week you'll be seeing a video of us putting this thing back together and it running. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Be sure you guys get entered for the jump pack giveaway, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.